I'm from the same place as trap music. This that first react music. They can't hold me back. I'm feeling good cause I'm black music. Can't nobody touch this. My flow, I can't rush this. Put them on silence when I'm talking. You should hush, bitch. I am from the heavy bass. My bro called a heavy case. Got a couple.
And welcome everybody back to another episode of Cigar Sundays. Tonight's word we're going to be smoking on is the word choice. In American culture, the word choice has been the center of many political, religious, and cultural debates. So tonight, what we want to find out is if the word choice is bad, good, or misunderstood. But before we do, make sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. I am Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, always with the God, Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm, and we are the Cigarden Panel. Peace, family.
Peace, God. What you dealing with?
Man, another beautiful Sunday.
I know that's right.
We done made it.
I know that's right.
The week. You know, how your week been, God?
Productive, very active. The cold weather didn't necessarily affect me, like impact me, but it was interesting. I had to maneuver some things, right? Like the bees reacted a little differently. My chickens reacted a little differently, so I had to discover some new techniques to some block some wind. I had to take that into consideration. Right. I didn't put no insulation up around the hives because this is South Florida and it's only going to stay cold for about a few more days, so it's not a big deal. But you do got to put up some wind barriers just try to cut it off a little bit. You know that hawk be hawking.
Yeah, that hawk be hawking for real.
And I'm in South Florida talking about the hawk. I apologize to everybody.
Yeah, the hawk be hawking. at a warm 59, 58.
Nah, like you get down a good 55, bro. That shit is like whoo, like
55. Okay. All right.
I apologize.
All right. All right. That's enough. That's enough. I like a nice 55. Yeah, it's people right now wishing they had 55. That would be great.
That's right.
But definitely, man, that is always good. Bees busy buzzing and things making progress, being productive.
Always.
Like they pose to. So tonight, y'all, we are talking about the word choice.
Hey.
And if you're new to the show, what we do is we pick words, phrases used in American culture, and we define them and we break them down and relate to them and try to find out if they bad, good, misunderstood, and we have fun with it. That's the main thing. So we also have 3 questions that we always shape our conversation around. So tonight's questions related to choice are: should choice be considered as the most valuable human word ever? Should choice be considered as the most valuable human word ever?
That's interesting.
Second question: is the ability to make a choice a freedom, right, or privilege? Question 2: is the ability to make a choice a freedom, right, or privilege? And our third question this evening will be: is it possible to predetermine if a choice is fatal? Is it possible to predetermine if a choice is fatal? So before we go to the definition,
Golly.
we go to our first question. And tonight, our first question is: should choice be considered as the most valuable human word ever?
That's powerful, God. So I'm gonna say yes, based off the question, based off tonight's word, and based off of how understand choice, right? And for me, choice equals reality, right? So the choices that you make dictate your right now, right? Right now is reality, right? And while everybody's reality is different in the right now, it's happening because of the choice that you make, right? Be it a positive choice, a negative choice, that's irrelevant to anybody besides you, in my opinion, right? Like I think you get to decide, how much you want to live, I guess, and how well or whatever, right? Like, because those are the choices that you get to make, right? Like, do I want to continue to look and breathe? Is a choice. Do I want to continue to, if I'm diabetic, do I want to eat this sugar? Or do I want to, refrain from eating sugar because I want to live? Is living more important to me than a honey bun?
Honey buns. Don't do honey buns like that.
I love them. That's why I did it like that.
Mhm.
And I love them.
Which one? They got different types of honey buns, guys. You
And
got
I be having different days.
oh,
I ain't
so
gonna,
you
I ain't gonna lie.
so you're a connoisseur. Any favorite brand? Lil Deb, Tasty Cake, Hostess.
If they cut me a check, I'll name somebody.
Any of them.
But that's and I pick sweets because I'm my wife, she joke about me being pre-diabetic all the time because I got a sweet tooth, right? And I know people that do suffer from, it's type 2 is the one you develop, right?
Yes.
Type 1 is the one you bought. I know people that suffer from type 2 and are struggling with making that choice every day, right? Like they're struggling to make that choice and struggling to stick to the choice that they made, right? If that's not reality, I don't know what else is. So for me, the answer to the question is affirmative. It's the most important word because it's right now.
It's right now. It's right now. So it should be the most important word because it's right now.
It's dictating you right now. Whatever choice you make is dictating you right now.
You're right now.
I mean, we could talk the future, and you making a choice for moments that's gonna happen, but as far as you concerned, that's right now. Are you making a choice with that thought in mind of that thing happening? So that's like right now.
If they act on it, right? Absolutely. Yep. So exchanging insight with the guy Ali Dawu L at BK Soul Farm. He just said choice is the most valuable human word ever because it's happening right now. So y'all in the chat, let us know how y'all feel about that. I agree. I'm gonna say that earlier I was really like trying to figure out, like, is that a valid question? Is that question a question that makes sense? Is it something that a person would see and be able to to think about other words in their life, like even value, but you make a choice to value something, and like the guy said, that's in the right now, because you're making a choice to value that. So when we say, is it the most valuable? Yeah, because the choices start with everything. Like that's the next move after the thought. That's move number 2. So if we're trying to get to a goal, then you have steps. You got the thoughts, you got the choices that you're making in between, and then there's the goal. So when we see people not thinking about the choices that they make because they are not comfortable with their results or even being in it at the moment, that's the reason why I agree with the guy Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm. That choice is the most valuable, because if that choice is different, that outcome is different.
100%.
So yeah, God, let's go ahead and go into this definition.
See how right I was. Oh, I screwed up. What does choice? How is choice defined?
Let's see what we got here. All right, y'all. This evening we are smoking on the word choice. And right now we are getting into the definition. And we have choice, a noun, the act of choosing, selection. That's what we were just talking about. It's after the thought. The power of choosing, having an option. The power of it. The power is in your choice, unless you have no choice. But who has no choice?
Babies. A baby don't have a choice. I mean, they do, but they can't express. Well, they are expressing it, but don't nobody understand.
Yeah.
So you can physically like take their choice away from them by just ignoring it and putting them where they don't want to be, or doing whatever you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, they have to be taken care of. They have to be taken care of. Let's see.
Damn. They have to be. So would that mean anybody that have to be taken care of don't have a choice? Because I was just thinking about babies, but when you said they got to be taken care of,
I mean, there's a responsibility, that has to be overseen, administered by, whoever is the parent of that child. So like teaching that child to make right choices and think that power is all in the parent or whoever the adult is, or their environment, because that's going to be the example set. So yeah, I agree. A baby don't have a choice because they learning everything. I agree with that.
yeah, but once you start going outside, or once you start being able to communicate and think and express yourself and actually start practicing making choices.
That's that whole from back in the day, like teaching you from right from wrong, right? So you know better.
You know better.
You know not to be out there doing that.
Yeah.
Because somebody done taught you a better choice, how to make better choices.
But even that, right? Like a baby grows out of having no options or having no choice, right? Because they grow up and they grow into the ability to make a choice.
Absolutely.
Right? Listen or don't listen. Follow instructions, don't follow instructions. Right? Be safe or don't be safe. Have fun or don't have fun.
Or cause trouble.
Don't cause trouble, right? That might be fun to some, right? Like,
Yeah.
so that's why, yeah. So
That's why the power is in the choice, the
that's
power of choosing.
yeah.
3, the best part, the cream. The best part is
Okay.
the choice. The best part. Now, this right here, I like this because when we look at the best part, don't you feel good when you make a good choice?
All the time, every time. But
You know,
what my man say, oh man, it's not like when the plan comes together.
it's nothing
Uh,
like when a plan comes together. Yeah.
was it a Hannibal? Was it Hannibal? Yeah,
I don't
18.
know. I know the
18.
saying. 18,
Yeah.
I pity the fool. If you don't know about the best part. So the best part of it is in the choices. All right. Now we got a person or thing chosen. You know, she was their first choice. A person or thing chosen. A number and variety to choose among. A number and variety to choose among. Care in selecting. And this is something that I
Wow.
want to focus on right here as we go into as we begin to dive deep into tonight's conversation. Care in selecting. That's something that I want. The 5. The 5, the 5th supposed to be the power. So
And I think 3B should fall under. I think 3B and 4 should fall under 5. I think those are part of 5. Care and selecting. I
a
think
person or thing chosen,
right. Care and selecting is needing in that.
and which one you said? A number of variety to choose among.
Yep. Care and
3B
select.
and 4.
Those things to me
Yeah.
are before you even said it, I was thinking all right, the choices we make.
Right. Okay, so we got of course, moving on to 6, a grade of meat between prime and good. Choice. You can get some choice
Okay.
filet mignon. You get some choice ribeye, some choice tenderloin, some choice.
So I had thought that number 6 was the one that said the best part, the cream. I thought that's what they was talking about, but that's a whole separate meaning, I guess. Okay. I thought
What's
that's
that? A grade
I,
of meat?
yeah, I thought the grade of meat was choice, right? But I don't know.
No. So when you buy meat,
I thought that was the best part, is what I'm saying.
let me dig back in my old food service galley days,
Right.
right? When you purchase meats, particularly beefs, they have different grades, and they have choice, prime, and select. So I'm guessing this is what good is select. I can't even recall if select was way at the top or at the bottom, but prime was always at the top, and then choice was always right there in the middle. So if you got choice, that was good. That was a good grade, good, and you didn't have to do a whole lot of trimming. You still had to clean the meat up a little bit, but
Word.
yeah, you get a better cut.
Hmm.
So like now, I mean, that's how everybody ordering it too. If you got a vendor and you are ordering, you own a business and you ordering food, you ordering beef primarily, and you ordering whole loins or particular type of loins, then those the grades that you pretty much selecting from.
Word.
So now we have choice as an adjective, worthy of being chosen, selected with care, of high quality, of a grade between prime and good. Once again, they used it there again. So care in selecting, selected with care. And these are the two things right here that stand out to me right now, and of high quality. Really, these three, really, these four as an adjective, and then this noun just carrying it over to this adjective is a focal point that you're going to hear me talk about throughout our conversation this evening, because care in selecting, doing something that's worthy of being chosen, selecting it with care and of high quality. To me, all these three things, all these four things right here go into making sure that you're doing the things in your life, you're making the choices in your life that are going to be beneficial to you all the time, as much as you can.
See, God, and I'm saying that that you're making choices that you accept, right? Because that whole worthy of being chosen. When I see that, I think about all the people that got baby mama, baby drama issues, right?
Okay.
I'm like that person that you chose to lay down with and chose to have that baby with is the person that you chose. Like you chose this drama. Had you chose better, you wouldn't be having this drama. Like this is the life that you want to accept that. And if you want better moving forward, make a better choice to adjust this situation, but don't throw the baby away with the bathwater, but make a better choice going forward. Just don't keep bringing that same baggage and keep making the same choice, picking the same type of person that you don't really want for real for your future.
God, some people pick them bad, God. Some people just bad pickers.
And I'm saying
You
accept
know,
it.
some people just bad pickers, and then but they don't want to admit that they bad pickers.
And that's
It's
why
like,
I'm saying accept it. They
yeah,
bad pickers.
yeah, like you know,
You
like
know, those
I could say in some areas of my life I was bad picking. I was a bad picker, you know. But the only difference is like I'll admit it, and say that I needed to make better choices, and I needed to exemplify more care in selecting, and made sure that something was worthy of being chosen before I just fully committed and put my whole self in it and obligated myself, and you know or like like, get your feelings involved, before you get your feelings involved with it,
yeah,
you know make
right.
sure that you have made sure that the situation is of the highest quality, you know or that's what you're trying to get, that's what you're trying to reach, even if it ain't right there, you can get it there. But you got to do the work, you got to make the choice to do the work too.
Yeah, you gotta want that and you gotta be in position to get that, right? You gotta be qualified for it, right? So all that.
So we have choice this evening, y'all. We talking about the word choice. We smoking on choice. And we just went through the Merriam-Webster dictionary definition, and we are moving right along to the thesaurus and the synonyms of choice. And they give us quite a few. We have choice as an option, as in bet, as in best, as in autonomy, as in election, And in the adjective form, they give us the synonyms as in select, as in excellent, and as in selected. So we're going to run through these and check out some more of these words that relate to choices that we be making out here in these streets. So we have option, choice as an option, the power, right, or opportunity to choose. The power, right, or opportunity to choose. That's as an option. And we have option, preference, alternative, way, selection, pick, liberty, discretion, election, vote, volition, druthers, will, determination, say, voice, free will, liking, predilection, judgment, inclination, tendency, propensity, penchant, judgment, proclivity, discernment, what's that, partiality, and perspecity.
I have no idea.
Perspecity. Let's go. Let's check that word out real quick. I've never even heard of that word right there. Let's see what that word is. Perspecity. Let's see what this is. An acute mental vision or discernment.
Keen. Oh, like perspective or.
Okay.
Push the button on how to say that, joint?
Let me see. Perspicacious. Perspicacious.
Word.
Perspicacious. Okay. So getting right back to the synonyms of choice, we just checked out perspicacious, but that's perspicacity.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, say that shit fast.
Spicacity.
Spicacity, yeah.
Spicacity. Perspicacity. Perspicacity.
Oh man.
Yeah. 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 That's a different one. That's one of them spelling bee words right there. Okay, so we have choice as in bet, a person or thing that is chosen. That's a bet. A person or thing that is chosen. Okay. Bet, favorite, selection, option, chosen, candidate, pick, nominee, preference, liking, nomination, designation, like, appointee, appointment, elective, pre-selection, selectee. All right. Then we have it as in best. We have individuals carefully selected as being the best of class. Best, aristocracy. Elect, elite, top, prime, cream, flower, pick, hall of fame, pink, society, cream of the crop, royalty, quality, A-list, priesthood, pride, upper crust. The upper crust. Nigga, I'm the upper crust, nigga. Not the shit on the bottom. The upper crust. The creme de la creme. All right. Illuminati. I am Illuminati. And you is too, if you got melanin in your skin, fool. Fat. We sitting fat. We sitting fat. Establishment. Corpse de elite. Nobility. Upper class. What's that? Caviar? Top drawer.
Yeah.
Gentry. Who's who? Okay. That's choice and the best. We see elite, aristocracy, elect, hall of fame, cream of the crop, Illuminati, for God's sakes, pride, quality, creme de la creme, the A-list, nobility, top drawer, who's who, upper class. All of this is associated with the choices that you make. Are you making in your life? I mean, anybody watching out there, anybody who watching this, because I had to ask myself, looking at this, I'm like, damn, how much am I making the best choices? Am I trying to make elite choices? Am I trying to make Hall of Fame choices? Am I trying to make cream of the crop choices, A-list choices, upper crust choices,
Those are
noble?
good. Those are good questions.
Am I trying to make these type of choices in my life? Have I examined everything that I do? And do I always put the absolute best effort, the most elite effort, the top, the flower, the royalty, and I understand this horticulturally, the flower, you know, so that's called the fruit in certain plants. So, am I making my picks count? Am I making it quality? Am I exercising being prideful about the things that I do, the choices that I make, and the things that I get out of them? And this is what I'd ask anybody who watching it now, like, think about that. Think about the selection, your choices. Moving right along, we got choice as in autonomy, the act or power of making one's own choices or decisions. Autonomy, option, free will, selection, accord, inclination, propensity, discretion. Yes, use discretion, meaning make wise choices, right? That's where that comes from. Using discretion don't mean you scared. It mean that I'm using logic and reason. I'm studying. I'm measuring before I cut. That's using discretion. Measure twice, cut once. That just don't mean when you fuck around in your backyard trying to build some shit. If you're in your whole life trying to build something, you should measure twice and cut once, as much as we can. Measure 10 times if you need to. Because the choice that you make is going to have a consequence. Proclivity, way, autonomy, volition, alternative, election, predisposition, tendency, pick, bent, leaning. We ain't talking about drinking no syrup.
Hell nah.
Will, preference, self-determination, predilection, devices, penchant, disposition, and partiality. Let's look at choice as in election, the act or process of selection. Everybody has a choice. You had a choice to not go vote if you didn't want to go vote. Since we're talking about election, so that's a choice as well.
100% facts.
We have election, choosing, options, appointment, decision, selecting, picking, designation, nomination, naming, assignment, the active process of selection. So then we go down here to an adjective as in select, having qualities that appeal to a refined taste. So having qualities that appeal to a refined taste. So that just let me know right there when I was talking about the prime, select, and choice.
Yeah.
The select is the top. Select is the top. You have select, fine, excellent, delicate, better, dainty, superb, terrific, high grade, stellar, splendid, first class, noble, elegant, rare, exceptional, outstanding, wonderful, classic. I don't know that word right there. Richerie.
Let's go for it. Richerie.
I don't know. Hold on. Let's pull it up right quick. Oh, recherche. Okay. Recherche. Prime, elite, sensational, superlative, sterling, unsurpassed, exquisite, special, exclusive, premium, great, fancy, fabulous, superior, marvelous, top, par excellence, first rate. See, these are the type of choices that we need to be selecting in our life. Elegant ones, fine ones, grand, top notch, tip top. And we're not talking about equating these words to something materially gained. We're not talking about superb, like I'm outstanding, I'm wonderful, I'm exquisite because I could drive a Bentley. We're not talking about that, because that person had to make some exquisite choices in their life, all right, in order to get to that place where they could afford that, not just obtain it. Because if you can't maintain it, then you can't afford it, no matter what it is.
Facts.
So there's a difference, but for a person to have it and maintain it and keep it, then there are other choices that'll be applied outside of the purchase of that vehicle to maintain everything else that they have. Because that's just a vehicle. That's not what it takes to keep the vehicle. So we have choice as an excellent, the very best kind. The very best kind. And just continuing on what we was talking about right there, whatever you think is the outcomes, having a positive outcome, having an outcome that you desire from doing anything, that's of the very best kind. That's fantastic. That's stellar. That's fine. That's marvelous. That's famous. That's brave. That's cool. That's top. That's splendid. That's first class. That's high class. That's grand. That's hot. That's marvelous. That's fabulous. Awesome. Superb. Great. Wonderful. Lovely. Beautiful. Prime. Quality. Classic.
Yo, that hot is hot like urban slang hot. Like that's how they was using the word fat earlier.
Well, I know if we go to hot on the definition, it's just going to be,
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see what we get. Having a relatively high temperature, capable of giving a sensation of heat, burning, serious scalding, having heat in a degree exceeding normal body heat, marked by violence or fierceness. That nigga hot. Sexy. So this is the first one that I've seen referred to.
Yeah.
Sexually excited or receptive. Oh yeah, she hot. He hot for her. For him. Sexy. Okay, so there's two more. So they put the violence and the sex. Okay. They put the sex and violence together. Then they have eager or zealous. All right, zealous of jazz. Emotionally exciting and marked by strong rhythms and free melodic improvisations. Okay. And that's hot. When related to jazz, emotionally exciting and marked by strong rhythms and free melodic improvisation. Okay, improvisation. Okay. Never knew that. That's different. Okay, having or causing sensation of an uncomfortable degree of body heat, newly made, close to something we sought. I don't think it touched on
it being the best.
Well, it being
or choice, or
like you said, when you talk about hot, like and related to fat, like when we say like it didn't give anything urban. That's an urban correlation, right? Like slang.
Yeah, I got you.
So to say fat, I would have thought if it would have referred to it in the urban context, it would have been PHAT. Like
which is why I was asking the question, because when I saw it at first, it threw me off, and I was like, but I'm like, that's not how we spell fat. But then I'm like, it's not my dictionary though either.
Right. So hot So hot not being correlated to like anything urban. They just saying hot, it's just neutral.
But hot as in excellent though.
Yeah, either you hot or you not.
Either you hot, you either on it or you not on it.
You hot or you cold, family.
Yeah.
You know. And when it's hot, but that's the thing. We do shit, culture does things where it's like, we can say, man, that's cold. And the same person sitting next to the person could say, yeah, that is pretty hot.
That joint is kind of fire.
It is. There you go. So that's what I'm saying. So
And both people like word,
and
true.
both people describing it as it's excellent.
Correct.
It's
Correct. Yeah.
the best. Always looking good right now. Superior right now. Sensational prize. First rate, par excellent, top notch, dandy, sterling, immense. Let's see. Let's go down here real quick. Oh yeah, we got a lot of them. As an excellent, this is very good right here. As an excellent, because look at all these words that give you that could confuse the shit out you too, though, when it comes to choice.
Mm-hmm. Oh look, they do got fat. PHAT.
And we got fat right here. Bam. We just needed to scroll. So
Fan,
there's
they got fantabulous. That's what is it?
Fantabulous, A1, super supernal, select, peachy keen, down, number one, numero uno, all right, Bonnie, fancy, okay, glit edged, high test, super fine, fat, standard, gangbusters, 4-star, tolerable, classic, brag, a-okay, hype. Hype, they got hype in there. Because when you do something and it's successful and you make a good choice, you get hype, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Tip top. Fantabulous. A1 okay, traditional cooking, gangbuster, 5-star premium, gin dandy, bofo, Bonnie, passable, high grade. And then we had some other ones up here that I dare not to miss because I see one of my favorite words in here. So we see prize winning, bumper, blue chip, top of the line, blue ribbon, peachy, crackerjack, acceptable, gone, fab. I guess that's short for fabulous. Even radicals in there. I guess, we got to do that word because I'm getting ready to say something and I may not know if I'm understand the word radical correctly. Now seeing it over here in choice being
as an
excellent, right? And all this time, people telling you too radical or saying other people are radical and this word's been demonized really bad. So we have to see what part of
but the radical would be polished in their position and in their points and stuff, right? So they would be arguing very well. I don't know, slang.
Yeah, it gives us slang though.
It's all radical, like, oh, that's awesome. That's how they mean it. Radical, like awesome, like that's that the Bill and Ted radical surfer tone.
Yeah, like radical dude, like that.
yeah. That's what
like
that is.
Radical dude.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
That's where they going with it.
That's what they going with.
That's where they going with it. And you know what? And it's so crazy that you have to have, how we was talking about different humors and you have to know the language. Like if you never got exposed to radical, dude, like if you never watched Ninja Turtles or some shit like that, or
if you ain't never watched Ninja Turtles,
like you would never even know. And then because it's used as the slang, and we looking at the excellent context of it, so which was a great catch. That shit was dope. But the word radical is still at first, without putting this on, without scrolling over to see the context, first sight of this word is bad. First sight of the word radical is like consequence. It's a trigger word. People will see it and be like, okay, because it's been demonized like consequence.
And it's crazy because like my first reaction to it was to not justify but defend a little bit, right? Like, nah, like he don't want to jump off the cliff, right? Like he radical because he don't want to jump off the cliff, and he's saying, "Yo, don't y'all know y'all about to jump off the cliff and die?" And you like, "No, we not." He like, "Yeah, you are."
Yeah, he's the radical person if nobody else is
Correct.
yeah, if everybody else is jumping, then he's the radical. But then is he? Because he's just standing there cheering everybody. He may be cheering everybody on. Radical dude, keep jumping. Yeah. Hey,
Go, you
come on,
go, you
you
go. Hey,
go.
you stay,
You
you stay,
go.
you stay, you stay, you stay, you stay.
Bullshit.
Yeah, yeah.
Just throwing people off the side, helping them jump.
Helping them jump. You know what I'm saying? Encouraging them. Encouraging them.
Encourage them. Radical. That's what you're gonna wear. You wearing that right there. You look good. You'll die looking great.
Ready, step.
Jump. Go ahead. Hey, even give you a hand up. There you go. You got it. Okay, go for it. Yep.
Radical.
Radical. Immense. That's too much. Unsurpassed, top shelf, out of this world, nifty, frontline, first stream, capital, bully. There's a little bully in a choice. Okay. Satisfactory, special, out of sight, primo. Primo. All right. Then we got first rate, par excellence, top notch, dandy, sterling, mean, better, number one, swell. Swell. Boss. One of my favorite words, groovy. Dynamite, adequate, dope. Another one of my favorite words, dope. And one of my most favorite words, righteous. And righteous is slang.
That's so interesting.
That's righteous.
Mhm.
Okay. So that is a reference to something being good. Wizard, chiefly British. Another cool, another word I'm fond of. Top flight and bang up. All right. And then we have, last but not least, choice as in selected. Singled out from a number or group as more to one's liking. Singled out from a number or group as more to one's liking. Okay. So that's where I'm studying and making my choice and getting my choice together before I make it.
You're figuring out what you need, and you are carefully um, observing your options and discerning what is good for you based on what you need and what's gonna stop you from getting where you're trying to go. The things that's gonna stop you, you leave it over there. The stuff that's gonna benefit you, you pick up.
Right. That's the action plan. The stuff
That's
we picking up is the action plan.
yeah,
And that's what we're singling out
yeah.
from a number or group because it's more to our liking. Why is it more to our liking? Like the God just said, it's going to be more favor. It's going to be more beneficial to your outcome, to your goal. Your
And
choice will be
the thing about that one is special kind of a little bit too, right? Because this is something that you're always doing, right? But if
constant. Yeah.
constantly, but if you don't realize that you're always doing it, and if you don't accept that you're actually doing something, and it's not, you're just not making a willy-nilly choice, or you just not dismissing it as a nothing thing, but realize that that is dictating your right now. Like you constantly are making choices, constantly a number singling things out. This is very interesting.
Absolutely. So the synonyms, as in for the word choice, as in selected, are selected, select, preferred, favorite, chosen, favorite, elect, picked, of choice, first line, handpicked, cherry picked, fashionable, exclusive, screened, weeded out, picked over, called, and winnowed out. Yep.
Yeah. Yo, and another like the thing about this, right? I like it because it says the favorite is your favorite, not your homeboy's favorite, not your coach's favorite, right? Like not your parents' favorite even, right? It's literally your favorite. So that's why I say like you got to really accept your choices and accept reality and accept that you might like um a loud or aggressive female, or you might like a chaotic situation or whatever, right? Like that might just be something that you like. It might be something that you might need therapy for, right? Who knows? But I, I'm just saying, like, just accept the fact that your reality is literally the bed that you spent time making.
Yeah, yeah, people do have to hold themselves accountable for their choices. You know, we all make choices. That's just a part of life. So, owning up to it, like you're stuck in it, whether you want to admit to it or not, or like you're stuck in it once you do it, whatever the choices are. So
Period. And accepting it only helps going forward because you
yeah,
can't you can't change it, right? Like it's just
no, you can't change it. I mean, if it's a bad choice, if it's a bad choice, now you do. Now you know what? Let's say this. Let's say you can change your choice. No, you can't change your choice. You can get out of it if the choice is a situation that allows you to get out of it.
facts.
That's it. But if you are in something and you've made a choice, and you have to go through it, and whatever the outcome is, like you just got to deal with it, like you stuck with that. Some things ain't no take backs.
A lot of things, right? And which is why it's important to remember that you making a choice, you setting your reality. Like that's why that's why that first question you asked God was so dope because before I seen the questions, I wrote down, we talking about choice, and I wrote choice equals reality to me. And then the first question was, what I'm saying? This is the most important word on the planet. And I'm like, yeah, because reality can't be less important than anything else.
Right.
Right. Because even if in your reality you choose to practice escapism and turn to drugs or something else to take you out of your present scenario, if that's what you think you're doing, like that thing still exists. It's still waiting for you to snap back to reality and deal with it, right? It doesn't go anywhere, right? Like it just don't go nowhere. You got to do something about it.
Yeah, you have to. It's required. It's required because you don't have a choice. We stuck with it. We stuck with it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah. So tonight we have been answering questions around the word choice. And right now we're gonna go ahead and put up our second question after we have just, now kind of peeled the layers back and define the word choice, see what the definition is, So now we want to ask the question: is the ability to make a choice a freedom, right, or privilege? Is the ability to make a choice a freedom, right, or privilege?
When I saw that question at first, God, it took me aback because I'm like, what is the difference between a freedom, a right, and a privilege? I would have to know those before I can say something. But going through and actually reading the definition from Merriam-Webster, I feel confident in saying that it's a right. Right. I kept seeing that word pop up multiple times in the definition. They talked about the right as an option, right? When you talk about power, that's like a right. When you talk about autonomy, right? So that's what I'm gonna go with based on the definition words that I seen today, right? In context. But prior to that, with those three, I'm not real sure, to be honest. So I'm saying.
See, not really sure, to be honest. I feel you, God. I feel you on that. Anybody out there in the chat, y'all let us know if y'all think that what y'all think. Y'all let us know if y'all think that choice is a freedom, a right, or a privilege. Let us know what y'all think in the
Freedom,
chat.
right, or privilege.
The ability to make a choice is the ability to make a choice of freedom, right, or privilege. Y'all let us know what y'all think.
So I would say I wouldn't say freedom, right? Because if we use the baby example, um, a baby is not in bondage, and once they start walking, basically, and they've been thinking about this thing across the room this whole time. They've been crawling, and now that they can actually walk, they actually start making the choice to get their ass up and walk over there. That's a right. Right. Nobody's said you're free to do that. You're free to think and get up and make that choice to walk over there. They
I
made that,
think they did. I think the parents who were around
allowed
said
them to do that.
allowed them to do that and said you
Uh
because certain places you can't walk because you might get hurt.
that's
Certain
true.
certain places you can't, and I don't have no babies, but I
And no,
did.
I'm rocking
You
with
know,
you though. I'm
I
rocking with you.
did
Yeah.
help raise my sister, and we had to get little things on it. You had
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
babyfy everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, certain places be like, nah, don't walk over there. Nah, come in, walk this way. Come over here. Come on, it's safe over here. But you teaching at the same time too. You like, it's safe over here. That
Mhm.
hurt. That hurt. Yeah, that's bad. You don't want to go over there with that. That's not good. You know. So I'm like, they still, but that's a privilege too, because to have good people around you to care about you, you know, because there's some children that just walk off and then they pulling shit down on their head and their head bust open. Now they at the CPS and at the hospital stitches and all this other drama, you know, because the parents too busy to watch to watch the baby. So, and they in the same place. Like, that's crazy. So when you get things like that, I say, like, it's still a privilege to have that good nurturing, but that's a choice that the parent makes or the adult makes in that decision, who's in charge of the child.
Ooh. Ooh, I think which is why the word right is the correct answer. I think we just discredited both freedom and privilege, right? Because like you said, it's a privilege to have caring parents.
Yeah.
It is not it is not your right.
No, it's not a right. No, but we talking about the ability to make a choice, though. But you absolutely right about that. Like, no, like, that is not your
Yeah,
right to have
yeah.
parents who give a shit about you when you are born. Like, after
No, that's
they,
that's that's a whole entire privilege, son. Like,
after they came, like,
yeah.
you know,
That actually want to be good parents and want to raise good human beings to be productive and carry on further. Um, that's a privilege, 100%.
yeah, I think so. And it's only that way. It's only distastefully that way because it's not the social norm. you know, and if it were to practice
And then
the
it would be a right.
yeah, then it would be, you know, the right. It sounds good, like, you know, I have the right to this and I have the right to that, but I mean, like, honestly, let's you know, take it up with your maker. You know,
Oh man.
take it up with your maker. Now, from the freedom aspect of it, is it the ability to make a choice of freedom? I think so. I definitely think it's a freedom. Um, because nobody like after that childhood phase that you're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
now I'm supposed to now explore. I'm supposed to now go and take those lessons, that wisdom, that stuff that was instilled in me, and I'm supposed to build on that. But I'm supposed to use it as a foundation of a conscious to when I know something is I'm about to make a bad choice, you know. So now I have the freedom of making my own choices because it may be I had guidance before where somebody was there to say, no, that's not good for you. You won't like the ending. But now I get to pick my own endings. You know, so now I have to go through the learning process of picking them and going through them and determining the things I enjoy and the things I dislike and testing myself if I'm going to make those same choices again. You know, also with the choices of thinking about the shit that you think you can keep getting away with, you know,
All choices.
all choices. So you have the freedom to do that based on hell, I don't even know what freedom mean anymore.
That's what
You
I'm
know,
saying, right? Like I don't know, right? Like, I don't
you know,
know.
I mean, I know the definition. I have an idea of what the definition of it is, but what it means though now, I don't know what the hell freedom means now socially to everybody, but you know, or if it even has a meaning and shit. You know, because I could be using that word and people be like, freedom, you know, like ain't nobody free, you know, not realizing that you had a choice to think like that, you know. And if you think that you're not free, then you probably are um allowing that mindset to affect you in other areas and other places that you can progress in your life that be beneficial. But thinking that you captive in something will keep you captive, can keep
Unless
you
you are
captive.
incarcerated.
I mean, if you locked up, that's it. But I mean, you locked up,
You
you
locked
know.
up. I mean, most
But
likely.
guys behind the wall write books and you know try to do certain things to some not everybody,
Yeah.
you know. Some niggas smuggling cigarettes and stuff like that and all that type of stuff and you know tobacco and cell phones and all that type of shit. You know, like some people on just in doing time and fucking around, but a lot of the people that you know for sure that's in there that know they got a long ass beard, they trying to do something to get that time off their ass.
Looking for a
So
little bit of freedom. Yep.
you know, so I think those people are thinking about their choices that they made to get them in that position.
Hmm.
And that's why they make it trying to make different choices in that position to be able to come out and do something different, you know, and make better choices. I think they would all agree. Anybody that's ever been incarcerated and didn't enjoy the shit, you know what I'm
Because
saying?
I think you need that caveat, right? Because I've been like lately, bro. I've been getting so irritated with all the prison stories and all the interviews, and I'm like, man, how many like only civilians care about this stuff, right? Like only people that ain't never did nothing, that ain't never,
if Big Meech ever snitched or
you
not,
know what I'm saying, right?
yeah,
Like,
that shit is ridiculous. Like nobody cares, man. Who cares?
like people that want to go to jail with a TV crew behind them, right? So there'll nothing really happen, but they want to feel like they was in prison for real, just so they can tell a story, like so they can get their card. It's corny. Yeah.
Yeah, in a technological world where like everything's recorded, in a world where the technology has gotten so much better, all right, the surveillance has gotten so much better, and now people think that they're gonna commit crimes. And how the FBI has always worked is where they sit on everybody that I seen on any FBI that got locked up by the FBI. The FBI was already on their ass for months and months and months before they even swooped in on them.
They're only coming because they got you.
They only coming because they got you. You know, so it's like when you have, if you don't have the money to run counter surveillance, and they have all the money and the resources to run all the surveillance, then it's only a matter of time for your ass get caught. Get big enough. That's what I tell some of these dummies. Get big enough.
Exactly. Like
you ain't big enough, dog. Like you ain't doing that. You ain't doing enough. You know what I'm saying? So like, keep doing what you're doing, or don't do what you do and do something different. But you ain't big enough, so that shit don't impress me. Because if you was that big, they'd have came got your ass. Like they do everybody. Even El Chapo got nigga. Big Meech coming home now, having to deal with snitch accusations and allegations, and they saying he was the biggest to ever do it, or whatever the fuck.
After doing 2 decades.
After doing 2 decades of sitting still. No, thank you, man.
I'm good.
You know, and I'm sure he would say, because there ain't no diss to him, he would say, y'all should make some better choices. You know why? Because his son ain't a thug at all. His son,
facts,
ain't a stepper, ain't a slider, ain't none of that at all. He do movies, Hollywood, and all that good stuff. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep pushing, youngin. You know?
That's a fact.
Keep pushing, man. Keep doing what you got to do. Continue to make good choices. So, we talking about this second question right now. Y'all just joining us. We are talking about the word choice this evening. And we have answered our first question. Should choice be considered as the most valuable human word ever? Unanimously, the Cigarden panels said yes. You know, if you don't agree, I would just consider, you know, not that everybody thing has to be agreeable. That's cool. I would say if you don't agree, share why you don't agree in the comment section, please, underneath the video. And if you do agree, also share why you do agree and your perspective on it. The second question we had is the ability to make a choice a freedom, right, or privilege? And we both shared some insights, exchange insights, you know, on, you know, why ability to make a choice is a freedom and a right and a privilege. You know, it's different situations for application, but overall, you know, when you say, is it a freedom for me to make a choice? Yeah, it's a freedom. You know, I'm free to make my own choices. That's what everybody goes through in life when you young and you transitioning through adulthood and young adulthood and stuff. You know, everybody wants to make their own decisions. They want to make their own choices. So then there's a point where you have that freedom to do that. But what we do often is through learning, sometimes we become irresponsible with that. We just trying to drop some jewels, learn some things about the word, exchange some insights that maybe if you hear this, you say, Dag, maybe I can begin to look at how I'm applying my method of choosing things to benefit me in my life throughout every aspect and area of my life, not just, you know, one place. Like, okay, well, I'm choosing to get up and go to work, so I'm doing good with that. But everything else is I'm not choosing to, you know, have good communication in my relationships with everybody.
Good diet.
You know, I'm not choosing to have a good diet. You know, I'm not choosing to, you know, to have a healthy balance of work and exercise. I'm not choosing to, you know, do a lot of things. Try to be creative, try to grow some things, try to build something, try to expand myself and not make myself dependent on one thing. And, you know, we got choices, y'all. And I know it's only 24 hours in a day, but live like you're going to have all the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? Make a choice to do that. That's a thinking choice, you know. And I deal with my own personal things I don't share, but I feel like it helps. It helps motivate me, helps positive thinking. That's why we always say everybody have a peaceful, positive, and productive. You know, we make a choice because if we put that at the front of it, of the thought, then maybe our choices can reflect peaceful, positive, and productivity. You know, and and it's definitely a right. You know, it's definitely a right, and I think you feel right. I think everything goes right when we put the effort into making choices. Moving on to our third question this evening. Um, Question number 3: is it possible to predetermine if a choice is fatal? Is it possible to predetermine if a choice is fatal?
So I'm gonna assume that the word fatal there doesn't necessarily mean deceased. And what is
We assuming fatal doesn't mean, oh no, God, I ain't never
so
worked fatal not to know something on the head. I thought it was a fatal blow to the head or a fatal shot that
it
ended
kind of
everything.
it
Yeah, that's
kind of it
causing
kind of
death.
it kind of causing death.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, I guess it wouldn't matter because the answer to the question is yes,
A
right?
fatal
So
car crash, right?
the answer is yes because any of those scenarios, like a car crash, if you wasn't wearing your seatbelt, that was a choice, right? You chose not to put it on. If you were speeding, that was a choice. You chose to speed. If you were drinking and driving or driving impaired, that was also a choice. Like you chose to go out and be impaired. You chose to drive your vehicle, and you chose to not set up a system for when you finish drinking and you two or finish having fun, and now you need to get back to the crib, like an Uber or a Lyft or something like that, or call a friend. You failed to do that, so you made the choice to get behind the wheel. So yeah, like you can. There's a bunch of times in the course of just going out to get some drinks where you could have made choices or a choice to not die or kill somebody today, potentially. So yeah, you can. But I think everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people are under the impression or delusion that it's not going to happen to them. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be somebody else. They careful. They do it all the time. They used to it or whatever.
Break that
They
down, God. I meant to cut you off. Break that. You know how people say, "I hate to. I don't mean to cut you off." Yes, the fuck you do. Then why you doing it? You know what I'm saying? But like, I meant to cut you off. Can you break that down, family? Can
what's
you break
that?
that down, God? Like, why do people think it can't happen to them? You know, what is that thing within uh the culture and American culture and black culture and just everywhere with like in society where like people just think like this shit ain't gonna happen to them. Like they just think like I'm exempt from. I'm
I,
gonna make this choice carefree. I'm not gonna put no thought into it, no nothing. I'm just living my best life. I'm just doing what the fuck I want to do.
honestly, I really do think it's a numbers game. I think people think that it's so many people that nobody's worried about me, right? I'm one person out of however many million people or billion people living in America or living on a planet. I'm just one person that's choosing to go and commit a crime that's gonna make me come up. I'm just doing it the one time. This is my first time doing it. Of course, I should be allowed to do this. I've been busting my ass this whole time, and they make movies about people that do this all the time and get away with it. They make reality shows about people that actually don't have no talent, that just scam us into thinking that they got talent, and we sit there and watch them and make them make money. Like we literally create their job for them by watching them. And so yeah, man. I think it's a numbers thing. I think people just don't think that people are gonna see them. I don't think that we realize how many cameras are actually looking at us every single day and how much we're under surveillance. I don't think we really understand how much under surveillance we really are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but like that is perfect when we talk about crime, right? But we talking about like, hey, like I'm not gonna do these book reports. I'm choosing not to do this book report shit. You know, I'm choosing not to wait and have sex with this girl I just met because, you know, or this guy she just met because I'm horny and I'm ready to go now. I don't care about the consequence. I like what I see. I want what I want right now. I don't care if they are, you know, a piece of shit human being, if they, you know, have bad hygiene, if they have bad manners. You know, I caught them clean that day. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I say God is a numbers game. I think is they don't think that I caught them clean that day. They don't think that they're gonna get burnt. They don't think they're gonna be the ones that's gonna be a baby daddy. They don't think they're gonna be the ones that's gonna. I think I don't think it matters crime or anything. I think it all comes down to people just not thinking that.
It
And it's
could be
crazy.
them. It could be them.
Like it's crazy, right? Because we live in a social media world or society right now where everybody's trying to uh, gain likes and views and followers and subscribers and stuff like that
And comments.
and comments, right? Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, right?
Absolutely.
um, while at the same time they don't think that they're gonna be successful,
Oh man, that's bad.
right? That's what I be meaning, right? Like I think that it's kind of like what we tear each other down, right? Like I don't want you can't have a bunch of Castanites. I mean, you could, right?
Who is
Uh,
that?
he's a video game dude. He play video games and go live playing video. The kid,
Is that the brother who was doing the little wild stuff at the Grammys and stuff like that? Little brother with some plaits.
yeah,
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 okay, yeah. He funny,
yeah.
man. I seen a
Yo,
couple of his joints.
dude, make his living literally playing video games and streaming himself playing video games and just playing video games and people watching play video
And
games
goofing off,
and
right?
goof and goof.
Yeah, yeah. That's dope, man. I mean,
All right.
he ain't robbing nobody, you know.
A bunch of people are copying and pasting his same thing, and while they're doing it, they got haters talking about, yeah, you just trying to be Casanat. You ain't got a camera like him though. You ain't got it like this,
That's wild.
right? Like so, you got a bunch of people that see it and want it kinda, but they don't really think that they are qualified. They think that something might be special about him. Why his
Mm.
why his is gonna work and why mine is not gonna work. Again, I think it's a numbers game. I think it's just
Why his gonna work and why mine is not gonna work. Yours is not gonna work if you don't try. You're a failure if you don't try. you just you just going through the motions of winning, of getting to the win if you aren't successful in your try. But you did not fail.
correct.
You know, check out our episode on failure if y'all want to get more on that.
Yeah.
Definitely at Cigar Sundays. on
Yes,
YouTube.
that's what I meant by that, guy. Like I think people, it's so much negativity out here, and it's so much self hate.
Right.
It's so much negative imaging, and people promoting and defending debauchery, right? And when you're promoting and defending debauchery, it's hard to. It just makes it a lot harder to see real value and worth, and to make good choices and things that matters. I'm gonna use the word morally, but it's more mundanely, I guess.
No,
I'm like,
it's more
is,
really,
is it morally? Yeah.
yeah, it's more really. I'm with you on that. You know why? Um, because what you just said, God, um, I was watching something else on YouTube.
Hmm.
Probably when I seen the little young brother you just said, I can't pronounce his name,
Hmm.
but I saw they do this thing called a broomstick prank.
Hmm.
And this broomstick prank is where the young men go into the Walmarts or the store, whatever, or some store, they out in public. And then they fake like they looking for something on the other shelf and they stick the broomstick in between the girl legs. So I don't know if it touch them on the coochie or if it just rub they in the thigh or how far they going up.
That's a prank.
But this is I'm saying that is that not sexual assault?
It's this. It's no. It sounds like sexual assault to me. That's what I'm saying.
So so
Sound
that's
like a
what
whole. Sound like a whole entire violation.
so when you said the normalizing the debauchery, you know,
That shit is bananas, bro. Like that is not. How is that funny?
that's what I'm saying. The choice is that's what's going on, you know, like they and it seems like that's a choice that's being made. Like, okay, grab her by the pussy is bad, but young guys putting a broomstick in between somebody's crotch ain't.
That's crazy.
And then we laughing at that. But then we want to, you know,
Wow.
we just completely just, and that's not defending, dude. I'm saying both of us wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
I'm saying, where do we as a culture say, okay, if that is something that we don't want to stand for as American culture, but then over here, and even within the black community, like, okay, a lot of the black community, like, nah, didn't Trump was talking about this and he got charges and all this, but yet everybody on their phone laughing at women being sexually assaulted.
see, to me, the content in that would be an innocent bystander walking by, looking and seeing that, and dog walking buddy and his team, and that is why we're watching this content now, right? Because you did this dumb stuff and somebody beat the shit out you on your own program, and because you are a content creator, you put it up, you put it out because you want the views and you want the likes, and all publicity is good publicity in your ratchet ass mind.
I agree, God. And when you say the moral, when you asked about that moral divide,
Hmm.
the wild part is some of these young brothers is getting laid by these same girls from that introduction. You know, that they become incited and enticed, you know, being approached that way. And they like, yeah, you know, give me your number, blah, blah, blah. Now, if all of that's scripted, then you know, I apologize for looking at it in that perspective. But if it's not
I don't know, God. I think I stand. I got the same position if it's scripted. Like we shouldn't be doing nothing
okay,
that look like it could be sexual assault or anything like that. Like
as a joke, as a
you should,
culture, as a
as
normalcy, right?
as a, none of that stuff. Like
All right,
none of that.
I'm on that.
Like that can't be funny,
That
right?
can't be funny, right?
Like you can't like comedians can't tell. I don't like when comedians tell rape jokes and pedophile jokes and like that stuff ain't funny.
I mean, that shit ain't funny for me because you know what I'm saying. Like you said, I'd be ready to whoop a motherfucker ass. They put a broomstick in between my wife's legs.
Oh my
You know
gosh.
what I'm saying? So like, I'm
We gonna
going.
be on the news. We
Yeah, I'm
gonna
probably going to
be
jail that day. You know what I'm saying? So you know, but that's how I'm looking at it. Like they should, you know, that's being normalized, and this is the new norm.
And to your that's to your point, right? Like so the broomstick is being normalized, but beating his ass for doing a broomstick, they would look at that person as being a bully or asshole or jerk, or being, you're too aggressive, you're too what do you call it, macho, toxic masculinity.
I'm too manly,
Yeah.
you know. I'm too manly, but I mean,
Like, how dare you defend my honor? Or
yeah. He could touch my pussy with the broom.
what?
Don't do that. Why you fighting him? Like, damn, like you just got violated, but it's
Nah,
so
son,
normal.
I got a granddaughter, so that can never ever be a thing that should ever go forward. Like, she should never have to look forward to that 20 years from now when she start dating.
Yeah. So, you know, who knows what technology will be like,
Oh my God.
but right now, culturally, we are making a choice to normalize sexual assault. And I believe culturally we're making a choice to normalize sexual assault through specifically a thing that's being done called the broomstick prank.
Nah, that's terrible. I ain't never seen that before.
Yeah,
That that needs one of those move.org petitions, like, to ban that.
yeah.
Like,
Well, if y'all want to hear more about it, March 6th, we got the Love Speak podcast at TLS Podcast on YouTube. Y'all can go over there and subscribe now and check that out. And that's going to be our first episode. We're going to be talking about that. And the effects of that and stuff like that, and what's going on in normalizing, you know, the choices that we make in our culture, you know, in regards to relationships and love and things like that. Because, you know, like how do we get back to, you know, some form of courting and respect and loving
dating with a purpose.
and dating with a purpose? How do we get to that, you know, when currently the choice is to normalize, you know, just, hey, let me rub this broomstick on you. If it excites you, you know what I'm saying? I might get invited. So, you know, it's wild. That's where we at. But yeah, y'all, tonight we've been talking about we've been examining and smoking on the word choice. And we just answered the third question is, well, we just discussed the third question. Is it possible to predetermine if a choice is fatal? And the guy Ali Dawu L at BK Soul Farm shared some really great insights. And I agree. It's no need to really be redundant. But yes, your choices can be fatal. You know, if we're not careful about the choices that we make.
A dude at my job just killed 3 people, son. Right, made a choice to kill 3 people. All right, that's definitely.
Yeah, he made the choice to do that. You know, and we understand, like, people place a lot of blame on other people. Like, you made me do it. If you wouldn't have done this, I wouldn't have done that. You know, I think that when it's a time and a place to exercise that, you know, I think, like, you know, I was having a conversation with my wife and my wife, and we were talking about that specifically. Like, when is it? And I said, well, let's say we spoke early in the morning, and you said that, babe, I might go to the store and pick up dinner, but I'm gonna call you and let you know. So we both got busy. All right. You never called me. I never called you back. You know, on my way home, I just stopped and got dinner because you never called me. I didn't know if you was gonna do it or not. I didn't even attempt to call when I got to the store to say, hey, because I may have been on the phone doing something else. Okay. Now, I get home, you get home, we got 2 meals. All right. That's not an argument.
We got one for today, one for tomorrow.
We got one for today, one for tomorrow. Now we have less to, we don't have to go to the store for, right?
You know what I'm saying?
And then that is a situation where if you would have called me, then I probably wouldn't have went to the store. But that's not negative. That's, you look at the win, like, oh damn, babe, you got some. Okay, what you get? Because we might mix shit up tonight. We was gonna have that, but
Now we got choices.
right now we got some choices and shit. But we can do this, and this, and
Now we got
get
surf
creative.
and turf. You know what I'm saying?
You see, so you can look at
Yeah.
through those choices the win. Because the goal was the same. The goal was to eat. But it's not. But it wasn't a negative when it came down. It wasn't somebody trying to make an excuse like something was wrong, and they didn't have their own self-control. She acknowledged, I didn't call you back like I said I would earlier. You didn't call me to remind me. I didn't say, oh, babe was supposed to call me back. Let me go ahead and call her back. Not oh, you ain't called me back and I done went and spent this money and blah, blah, blah. Like, that sound like, a whole bunch of confusion and shit.
Because the reality is, if you didn't have that money, you should have made the phone call.
And that's what it is. Like, if you ain't had the money to go get the food, if it was something else, right, that would have caused you to say, you know what, let me go because she got the money.
Because in my mind, you're only upset or you're only creating an argument because you spent this money and you took this money from someplace that you needed it, kind of thing, and you should have made the phone call.
Right. Yeah.
you should have made a phone call.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's tough. If people in them, I know people are in them situations, but I encourage people to make sure that you can buy dinner too, if she can't.
Or if she don't. Right? Like, you still gotta eat. Y'all both still gotta eat, right?
Yeah. Or if she don't, that you ain't mad about.
Yeah, don't be mad about that. You know what I'm saying?
For real. Like, that is a tough one right there. But definitely, we have control over our own choices that we make. I do think we have freedom. I do think it is a right, and I do think that it is a privilege for us to be able to make the choices that we have. I've traveled around the world. I've seen how situations are for other people, other humans, other citizens. So outside of just any social construct, and you just looking at yourself, like, right now, I'm making a choice to say what I'm saying to you all. So everything starts with the thought first, and then your action. That's your choice. What you gonna do? So if we put a little bit more effort into that, a lot more effort, a lot more love, a lot more patience, consideration. What else, God? What else can we put into these? Can we encourage folks to put into their choice making, their decision making, that's gonna help improve their situation?
When you have thoughts, think them in complete sentences. Right? Think it all the way through.
Think it all the way through. What could go bad? What could be good? What's the best outcome? What's the worst outcome?
Do you really want this? Is it worth everything that might come with it?
Is it worth everything that might come with it? Do I really want it? Gospel.
Right? Like, that's why I say, right? Like, but it sounds like it might be complicated, and it could be super simple at the same time, depending on your thought process. But like, once you accept that you are making choices all day long, every day, almost involuntarily, right? Once you accept those things, you actually start to slow down, and you won't answer so fast, right? You'll actually take the time to think about how you want to answer, because if you got plans with your girl and your homeboys show up talking about yo son, like yo, this and that, and you just forgot about your plans with your girl for a second. Like it's man, yeah, we gotta take some time to think, right? Like, hold on, fam. Like, do I got plans tonight? I think I do. Let me check my calendar first, at least. Let me check with my girl to see if she has something planned. She might be trying to surprise me or something. It's not that I'm checking in to get permission, right? But I'm respectful of her time. I'm respectful of her love. So if she was trying to surprise me tonight, I would hate to surprise her and ruin her surprise.
And not be available, right?
And now she mad forever. You know what I'm saying? Who wants that? Right? You never want an argument, right? You have to be super right.
Yeah.
Right. So you gotta take the time to think, man, and have complete synthesis and not just fast thoughts. Oh, fat ass, let me go smash. No, fat ass. Do I want to pay any of those bills? Can I afford to pay any of those bills? Is she qualified or worthy of me paying any of those bills?
Man, say that again. Is she
Right.
qualified or worthy? And what would be some qualifications? Because that's some choices that got to be player made right there. What qualifies a choice? Just one or two, just to help the jits out. One or two, young person. Maybe some of these older people still going through the same shit over and over again because they making bad choices.
See, and so I'm tough on bad choices, right? I'm more on those are your choices.
Well, I'm saying bad choices because they not even agreeing with the outcomes of the shit. You know what I'm saying? I agree with you that yes, those are you have to be accountable. Those are choices that you're making, right?
Yeah.
That you're allowing yourself to make. All right. But if I'm making the choices, right, and then I'm displeased with my outcomes,
they,
you,
they
you
are they are definitely bad choices.
yeah, they definitely bad choices, because you want to be winning. You want to feel good about stuff you're doing, right?
But if you absolutely don't change your process, if you don't change how you choose, if you don't change how you pick, if you don't change your picker, if you don't acknowledge that you got a bad picker, if you don't acknowledge that something just needs to be different, you like you have to accept your choice, right? You have to accept the choices that you make, and this is your reality, right? And you got to find your groove and find your lane in it, and live happily ever after, right? Everybody don't get to be a princess or a prince, right? Some people got to be street sweepers and
Do
mate.
they? They could be a princess or a prince in their own world, right? Even sweeping the street.
I don't know. That's kind of delusional, right? Because prince, prince, princes and princesses, they snap their fingers and things happen, right?
Man, I don't know. They might got somebody doing something for them. Hey,
Yeah.
but but I agree. I agree that people should be doing those things that you said. You kind of evaded the question though. We was trying to get with them girls. You know what I'm saying? With them girls need to have going on. Try to drop some jewels for the youngest. But end of the day though, I will say on that take your time and learn to communicate with somebody first. We already know that when we get with them physically, the attraction is always physical. When you choose to get with somebody for the first time, like when you choose to approach them, you're already making that choice based on something that you like, and it's a physical attraction because you don't know this person. You don't know
At all.
how they breath smell until you get close enough to them. So if they receive you and they're receptive of it, then you already know as a guy, this woman is giving you her attention. If it's whatever type of relationship it is, whatever gender, the opposite person is giving you their time, their attention. Sex is easy. but the choice of the sex can deliver a consequence that has a lifetime of responsibility. All right. Remember, y'all, consequence is not a bad word. A lifetime of responsibility being a consequence is not a bad word, too, if you want to be a parent. If you want
or have a
children,
or have a short life if you catch the HIV.
and that's being reckless out here. But I mean, but we in 2025 now. It's people being living with,
That's true. That's true. That's
yeah,
true.
they got commercials and everything. But the thing is now with the
That's,
commercials,
that's so reckless. That's so reckless.
they got commercials and everything. But the thing is that now you make your dating pool harder because now you bring something to the table that you have to hope that whoever you choose accepts you for that, you know? So not just jumping into a situation, valuing communication, value getting to know somebody first, other things, learning about the person first before you fucking them, you know,
Dog, you
that
you just I'm sorry, God. You just said that, and I just it made me think the fact that do people have to disclose their statuses and stuff, or is that like all HIPAA stuff, right? So that's a whole nother reason to make good choices because this person might be super hot and they might not tell you.
man, I mean, I think that when a person makes that choice, they put themselves in that situation. Like, and if you got somebody who be honest with you, then then you can make a decision of what you're gonna do then. So if the person not honest with you and you hot and heavy and you going in because that's what you leading with, then I mean you made that choice, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
A lot of people don't consider that. They just, like you said, they think it ain't gonna happen to me, and then they get lucky and nothing happens, right? But there's emotional damage that happens.
Every time.
And then they go to the next person and then wonder why the next person didn't work out. And you was emotionally damaged from the last situation. And how did you start the next one? You probably went in doing a lot of the same shit that you was doing in the last one because you don't think that you need to grow or you need to change anything about yourself. Everybody else is fucked up. You perfect. You know what I'm saying? You probably will die by yourself. Some people don't give a shit because, hey, if you don't have a twin, you was born by yourself, you know? But I seen a lot of people live longer because they have somebody to hold on to. I seen a lot of people live long just because they're going to live long, But one thing about it is everybody needs somebody, though. A lot of them people that I see living long, they got somebody with them. Whether it's a family member or somebody, they got somebody who's dedicated to being their friend day to day, every single day, no matter what they're going through. So that is how I see these people getting older. And, like that's a choice that we can make. I believe that a person has that in their power. Now, I've also seen people be married for like 35 years or be together for a long ass time and then separate.
Yeah.
So we know ain't nothing guaranteed, but if you make a choice to commit yourself to that, then the work that has to be done is the thing that's going to keep that thing together. And the minute you stop making a choice to do the work is the minute you can expect to be doing something different.
It's funny you say that because people ask me all the time, like how do me and my wife stay together? How do we stay married for so long? And the answer is super duper simple. Every single day, she and I both make a choice, right? And the choice that we seemingly continue to make is to stay together, right? Any day, every day, we both have the option to choose to walk away, right? Like there's nothing there's nothing binding anybody to anybody, right? Like a marriage certificate is a piece of paper that can get torn up. The file can get deleted. Like it kind of is, right? But but the actual act of marriage is a choice that two people or more, however you do it, right, make to do every single day with each other, regardless of what you had going on today, regardless of what I got going on today. We choose to come back at the end of the day to each other and report and support and wake up tomorrow and do it again, hopefully. And hopefully we choose to still do it with each other again, right? Like that's the reality. That I have no guarantees that my wife is going to choose to be married to me tomorrow just because I was dope today.
Yeah, but you encouraged her by your dopeness.
Hell yeah. I'm like, yo, it's kind of fire over here.
Right. You know, I'm just trying to encourage you with my dopeness, baby.
You
Don't
know,
leave. What happened yesterday when we went to sleep? It was all good, but you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. But yeah,
it's a choice.
absolutely, God, that is the absolute truth. So this evening, y'all, we have been talking about the word choice. And we had three questions this evening. Our first question was, should choice be considered as the most valuable human word ever? The Cigarden panel agreed, yes. Our second question was, is the ability to make a choice a freedom, right, or privilege? BK Soul Farm dropped some really good Jews, exchanged some real good insights. I really recommend that y'all go back and check out that part of our conversation in the rewind. And our third question this evening was, is it possible to predetermine if a choice is fatal? And we also shared some really great insights on why um, really, you know, it's a 50-50. You just don't know. You know, it's not really a real, one size fits all to predetermine if this thing that I'm going to do is going to cost me my life, or cause anyone some harm, or there are things that you can examine. Real quick, I'll give an example. Like if you sign up for the military, depending on what service you're in, you don't get into a combat situation and then say, how the hell did I get in this combat situation? you know like you're not gonna be like, well, if the presidents and them, and if the geopolitics and all this, and if they wasn't beefing, and if China would do this and all that, but yet you signed up, you made a choice to go serve our country.
You signed up to do war.
You signed up to do war. So
How the hell you talking about? Why am I here?
like how I get myself in this situation. Yeah, you got yourself in this situation. You
Because you wanted to do war. Go do that.
So so it is difficult to predetermine what choices will be, but it's definitely value in studying and being very selective with the choices that you make and responsible with the choices that you make. So closing tonight's show, our question, the God Ali Dawu L at BK Soul Farm, is the word choice bad, good, or misunderstood, God?
Super duper good. Super duper good. Right. The only thing that's misunderstood is people's understanding of their own choices and their ability to make them. But to have a right to choose, like that's fire, right? Otherwise, you just be eating whatever somebody shoved down your throat, and I'm good on that. All right, so it's definitely good for me.
Choice is good for the God Ali Dawu L at BK Soul Farm. And man, I love choice. I love the ability to be able to make choices. I respect my ability to be able to, my privilege and my freedom to make choices, my responsibility to make choices. So choice to me definitely is a good word. I know it's been politicized in many different ways, freedom of choice and these different things.
Freedom of choice. That's a good one.
Yeah. It's kind of like an oxymoron if you
like dummy.
But we didn't punch down on anything, this evening, or want people to feel like, we got it right and they didn't, because we just learning these things. Like we always say, if you like something here, pick it up, have a smoke. If you don't, leave it in the ashtray, and for somebody else to come by. So, with choice being bad, good, or misunderstood, definitely a good word. I think I think people are just not aware of it. I'm gonna go with misunderstood too, because people are not aware of the definition of choice and how important and valuable choices are. Because I just see people not making good choices. People know better and still won't do better, or they'll just be lazy, or they'll just say tomorrow. And I'm not going to sit up here and be no hypocrite. Like I do everything I'm supposed to do when I'm supposed to. I got shit I'm a hypocrite with. I mean, I procrastinate on, but I always am working to improve on it. I'm always like, and I always get things checked off my list. When I make a list, that's one of the things that helps me with improving my decision making, the choices that I make, is making a list and checking things off and executing, So that's a tool I use. And, maybe it can be helpful to somebody out there. So another great conversation as always.
Yeah. Word.
And I want to thank everybody for pulling up tonight, watching. Make sure to like and share the video. Also subscribe to the channel, so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. I am Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, always with the God Ali Dawu El at BK Soul Farm. And we are the Cigarden Panel. And we will see y'all next Sunday at 8 p.m. right here on Cigar Sundays Live on YouTube. Peace, God.
Peace, God. This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016, 160 self-sustainability. Jump on a list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
Exchange insights Sundays at 8 p.m. East Coast time with the Cigarden Panel, smoking on words like two big nerds, hosted by DBCHEFTV and BK Soul Farm at Cigar Sundays on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so when they go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at www.dbcheftv.com.